In consideration of past recent experiences, and where this channel currently sits in stages of fulfillment, with a promise that I made to you several months ago via the Wasteland collaboration between The Day We Left Earth and Dead by April. And if you have not entertained that piece, I highly recommend it, as well as Dead by April 2, if that's a new name for you. Big in the Swedish metal scene, I've been a fan of many years, you will like them, I promise you. I promised there that it was my intention, as is usual with the collaborative model in terms of many artists of what I've produced thus far in terms of music coverage on this channel, to inquire on The Day We Left Earth as an isolated presence on a later date, isolated in attribution of their own works. And thus far we've had two opportunities to observe the evolution together, perhaps, via the Melancholia EP, their earliest publication, and that's come through the title track and Eden going in track order. I knew going in, there was a feeling of strength, not just based on Wasteland, but other key attributions. The metal side, again, I'm a big metal guy, that obviously appeals, or rock and metal specifically, and the European regard, though I forget, again, where The Day We Left Earth originates from. Many of you know I love that space, and I've loved humoring it with you. The Day We Left Earth is the latest attribution, thus far of two pieces, and I cannot wait to humor more. The evolution of Melancholia offers a lot in scope of understanding, and I always have said in the past, The Day We Left Earth was a great collaborative presence for Dead by April. They're very similar. So the love I have for that group translates quite well, or translated beautifully when I entertained on this channel both Melancholia and Eden. But I don't want to necessarily just limit them to be like, oh, you know, their identity is solely residing around being adjacent to Dead by April. They're great on their own. I admire the vision of this group, not just in musical craftsmanship, and both tracks have offered a lot, not just again in variety of tone and energy and genre feel and rock assertion, but I love the metal scene for this again on factor of authenticity and relatability. And the messages that The Day We Left Earth has had to share in previous pieces have truly resonated with me, and they're very bluntly delivered, and I respect that. I was quite shocked by how potent the writing is. And on vocal talents as well, their lead singer impressed me a lot. I've had a really good time with this group in humoring their work, again, as I often do on a first introduction basis. And I love with music, you know, I can't speak to this in every other artistic form of expression. I love the mutual shared experience we can have. And I hope, as I always said with music, when I consider you as an audience member, we're approaching on different dynamics. That some of you might be approaching with a familiarity to The Day We Left Earth that predates my own, and that you've been a longer-standing fan of theirs. I also hope that some of you are approaching on a first-name basis, right? And that you're just maybe, well, you're in the search for good art in the music scene. And The Day We Left Earth, maybe you've had the journey with me thus far, or maybe this is your first entrance. I don't like to speak for anybody, but I would imagine on faith that you are standing as a prospective fan, because I think once you hear them, you're going to really admire what they have to offer. So, continuing our journey as promised, and we're taking a bit of a departure here with a specific song, Thunder. This is the third song off of the EP, and we have a music video. That's a bit different from the lyric videos that have been offered previously, which I liked. On visualization, they were fun. I think they definitely matched well with the song, especially on color palette. They were beautiful to witness. Let's observe this together. Our first music video with The Day We Left Earth. Quite fun. And I'm sure we'll have a good time in terms of the track. I've already skimmed the lyrics, and the narrative is pretty interesting. It's got, I think, a broad scope to it, an application for sure. But it comes across as more of an inspirational song, which has sort of been the path of direction, at least off where Eden took us, from what I remember. Let's engage this together perhaps for the first time and have a great experience. Whether you're taking the perspective from me of somebody who, again, is engaging with work for the first time, though you might be familiar, or you're enjoying this with me simultaneously. Let's have fun together, and let's experience good art at the same time, and deepen our understanding for The Day We Left Earth, and let me continue to make good on my promise I deliver to you, which I like to do, especially in the music realm. I love humoring good art with you, and The Day We Left Earth, for me, has surpassed my expectations. So, which is always the case with European art, really, in general, even in other landscapes, they please. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the music video that came alongside the song, and since it's not a lyrical video, many of you who are familiarized to my work might know this, and maybe some of you are not. I like to accommodate listener taste to the fullest perspective that I can. So if you want the message delivered to you on part of having the lyrics incorporated in the video you're watching, they will be featured here. You'll see this pop up alongside the song and transition along with it as we entertain the work together. Without further ado, here we go, though. I've been meaning to get back to The Day We Left Earth. I've had a great time 2 entries in. Let's continue. Or 3, counting Wasteland. Let's humor another one together.
This is the emergency broadcast system.
I really like that electronic emphasis again. Oh, good tone flare. Beautiful synth pacing. This imbues a symphonic vision meshed with the electronic. Oh, I love it. Great wind-up. Man, I'm so glad I listened to these guys. This is good music. This is what I always hope for. I just love the synth dance we're experiencing together. Man, this is bold. Man, wow. The intertwining of those vocal layers, so satisfactory. I'm liking the build here. Such interesting choices on electronic work. Very specific from what I've listened to, but a grand reach for sure. Beautiful builds. So far my favorite of the 3. Interesting departure choice. I expected to return to the harsh, but no, I like that. It's unexpected. As I've said, it's been a long-time aspiration for me for many years since I founded this channel to bring music on in a grander manner, and I'm always just so elated when I experience a good track with you, especially on Vision and Variety. That piece has vivid personality, and I love it. Every minute of that. In fact, you start the song, at least just on initializing it, and you're at a loss for words. That's what I experienced. Just like sit back and let the experience shower over you. And those mainstay elements of what I've experienced thus far This is really interesting. That I imagine, because when I read the lyrics originally, these, and again, like I said on Vision, Thunder has a broader inspirational tone. And it's reminiscent of other messages that I've seen similarly expressing different types of imagery in other places of other bands, whether it be in the European facet or in other geography spaces worldwide, notably in American regard. It's so cool to experience. Actually, let me go here before I segue in my next point. You consider the potency of Melancholia and Eden, especially Melancholia, on lyrics, and the assertiveness of the message that does not shy away from being as bold and as realistic as possible to the human experience in a travesty state. And you think that piece might have an advantage. This, I think the potency is stronger there. Where this song fleshes out its individual drive and its achievement is in the music. That score and oh man, I'm sitting back still thinking on it. The electronic tone, I think on Energy this sits in between the two in that middle space. It feels a bit softer from Eden, but comparable, not by much. It's still on the harsher end, but it definitely emphasizes that electronic note with such exquisite synth placement and pacing. It just does not let up at all. And the structuring of the vocal work, as I was reading the lyrics, I didn't foresee an unclean segue on vocals. And I love it. I love harsh vocals. I'm a big scream guy in metal, so... But for me, I personally... I like unclean vocals, but even more so when there's a duality and a balance. I feel that both presences here with the song, a part of the clean and the unclean, mesh so well to one another. And the higher inclines on inflection and pitch raises with their lead vocalist, I forget the name of it at the moment, that was perfection. Especially when it rolls over into the scream. It's just so seamless. I love it. I love this about music when you just sit back and you're like, okay, this is going to be a fun entrance. Especially on first exposure. As I told you, any of you who are approaching on a first name basis with the Day We Left Earth, I would imagine you are very much a prospective fan, and that's driven you to look deeper. Again, we've entertained two pieces thus far, in consideration of Thunder as well. Now 3. I am so grateful that I decided to look deeper with these guys. Wasteland was a great taste, and you sensed, again, like I said, the presence of where they go as a group. On vocal presence, on even electronic integration, because that's Dead by April's a mainstay of their work. The hard rock emphasis or the metal side, on Energy, and very realistic female messages. This has such an inspirational spirit to it, amplified beautifully by an individual personality with synth integration, which I just love. And I'll say this in the past, in consideration of what else I've regarded in different artist spotlights here. I haven't always been the biggest electronic music type guy. Dead by April built out a love for this, and other groups as well that I've spotlighted on this channel thus far, especially in the European regard. I prefer an integration, I'm not a big EDM guy. For me, just in direct isolation, it has to integrate with music. And I love when there is an overlap and a hybrid model. This piece totally fits my interest. And I love how specific the synth use is to amplifying both the music and the energy of the song, especially on an inspirational tune, where the tone on the key choice may illustrate a bit of a darker ambiance. But it transitions around in different key choices to where it fits in a territory of an uplifted direction, where appropriate, based on the direction of the song's narrative. And on a music video side, this is fun. I mean, it is a how do I frame this? Music videos can offer quite a variety in scope of where they go on destination. Some groups produce direct conceptual narratives. I can think of many examples of that. Others decide to go down, to whatever degree it might be, a performance route. I like when you're able to sense that passion via the artists, and the live performance offers that. Even if maybe it's live, it's kind of that. Not that far off. I sense the love from this video again of producing great art and execution. Funder's quite beautiful. Out of the three, it is my favorite, specifically on music styling. And I say three again in what I've humored thus far with Melancholia and Eden. Funder has an achievement level on vision that's just beautiful to me. This is just great music in general. It's a wonderful work to entertain. And I love, again, as I've said, spotlighting good music, especially if I can in any way, and I hope for this, pave routes for you to explore deeper with great artists that maybe you didn't know about yet. If you happen to be from that perspective, I'm so glad that I humored The Day We Left Earth, and I'm glad I made you that promise, because again, it's my intention to always deliver, God willing, and I just love covering music. There's so much offered in this artistic landscape that in other places I found in escaping, or a lack thereof. The music scene is just so strong. And in Europe, in the Baroque and metal territories, oh, for sure. Another fine addition to add to that library in consideration. An exquisite work. I loved humoring it. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Whatever perspective you come from as well, if you wish to disclose your angle too. Longtime fan, prospective fan, now wanting to look deeper, I'd love to hear about it down below. And we'll be doing that here. 2 more works, at least as far as what I've lined up. Though as far as I'm concerned for the future, door is always open, and I can't wait to hear more. Smoke plus Mirrors is next, and that's going to be finalizing our understanding of his current EP before we move on to The Wire, the latest of the releases on part of their new single. I love the artistic scope, though, on music and score of what Funder expressed. And it has an inspirational message that follows up on Eden satisfactorily, and I think it maintains a cohesive vision on direction of where the EP is going on narrative. It's the music, though, where it just takes center stage. The synth-fuse just still gets me on how good that is, especially meshed with intentional pacing. It is beautiful in vision. And the lyrical balance, well, not lyrical, sorry, the vocal balance on behalf of the unclean and the clean, just, it's so perfect. And those high inflection points, I can't get enough of them. Easy repeat listen, great drive to it. My favorite thus far on music scope. Just a satisfactory tune overall and a wonderful piece of art to humor. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.